you was talking
about?
I don't
know.
I'm going to go ahead and get this shared throughout on the social medias. I just got to share it through all the Facebook groups.
Brian, did y'all hear echo? I'm just wondering.
So what?
Do y'all hear echo?
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello?
No, I think it's just me. I mean, I'm in an empty room, so I think it's just me. Echo in the room.
Okay.
Might just be me.
But yeah, as far as Barkevious Mingo, man, I think I don't think they should cut him if they don't have no proof until they do their due diligence on it. You know what I mean? Like,
it's going to be a
just
process.
Allegations.
It's going to be a process.
Cause just somebody say you did something, I mean you did it. You got to prove that they did it. You know what I mean? You're not guilty just because they said you did it.
That's true.
I just think it's getting out of control with that now. Somebody accuses you of something, you automatically guilty. That's ridiculous to me.
But
bring the proof, bring facts.
But you should not put yourself in that type.
Ain't no but, Ron. That's what it is. Ain't no but. That's what it is. If somebody put you in that. Listen, Ron. If somebody put you in that predicament, you'll be saying the same thing.
Yeah.
But Ron, you can't sit there and say nothing, dog. You was a man. A young lady came up to you, and you know half these women look older than they are. It is what it is. Ain't no ifs, and buts about it, dog. These women is fine. No matter what age they are.
So we're live. We're live right now, and I'm just hold on. Let me just share this last one, and then we'll get started. Y'all are funny,
bro. Yep. Man was at the wrong place at the wrong time. That's it.
But yeah, we definitely gonna wait till the next week to the breakdown because for Bobby.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so we're not gonna do the player. We're not gonna do
not this week.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's cool.
We was talking about it when you stepped away a while ago. Right. You was gone.
Okay. Nah, it's cool. I had a bunch of information on that one.
Yeah, I do too. But like I said, we'll just wait. That way, everybody be prepared for it.
Okay, cool. I'm all. You guys ready to go?
Let's go.
Ready to go.
Yeah. Let's go.
All right, cool. Ready to go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Jansen Harris here with the Flying High podcast. It's sponsored by Your Future Media and presented by the Birds of Prey ATL Facebook group. It's the hottest Facebook chat in the world right now when it comes to the Falcons. So everybody join, talk. You can say your piece, all that good stuff. What's up, fellas? Let me introduce them, man. We got Travis. We got Ron.
You guys?
Nate. And Bobby.
We're going
to break down some sports. First, we got to talk about Barkevious Mingo. He was arrested on wow. It's just the charges are crazy, man. Child indecency. And again, I'm no lawyer, but we know how the NFL goes. My spill is, and Ron talked about it before we even went on air. I think he gets cut. We'll start with you, Nate. What are your thoughts on Mingo's arrest?
I wouldn't necessarily just jump to the conclusions of him being cut. I think the organization is going to have to do their due diligence and let the process proceed itself. I think it's kind of set in stone. If we end up cutting him, it's because of the what happened to his situation. I mean, messing with an underage girl, he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. That's something that being a professional athlete, you have to always be accountable about your actions. That is set in stone.
Absolutely. And an interesting thing about this, Nate, I got a question though, because this is for you. Before we move to Ron with this, is the NFL. You look at the NFL, it seems like the way they move, they don't care about whether they're guilty or not. Do you agree with that? That you think they'll jump to conclusion before everything plays out? Because it seems like they have in the past.
Well, I mean, of course they always had it, but it's always subject to the quid pro quo, should I say. I mean, it's always, I hate to say it, but when it comes to black athletes, they get the knife. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, it was a Seattle Seahawks offensive lineman that beat his black wife or girlfriend. We ain't heard nothing about that. It was swept under the rug. But then when it comes to black athletes, they seem like targets. It is what it is. For some reason, we still not going to understand that. But I actually believe that it's going to come to the forefront, and he will have to deal with his consequences. I'm just sorry to say that.
Ron, what's your thoughts on this?
My thoughts on this: you don't put yourself out there. I mean, when you go to the club, ask for ID. I mean, you just gotta be aware of this kind of stuff.
Okay, I feel you. Hey, love in the background. Love in the background. Travis, can you break this down? What was your initial thoughts on Mingo's arrest, and what do you think happens next?
Well, my initial thoughts was, far as on his arrest, was I understand the arrest because of the allegations. You got to take it seriously, and I get that, but I just hate how they condemn this man. Everybody's being condemned once they get arrested right off the jump without any kind of proof or evidence. I just think that's crazy, man. But with most black athletes, it's always like that. We're always guilty until proven innocent. It's the other way around. And I just don't think that. I don't think that's cool, man. Until something comes out like some type of proof or evidence. I'm not feeling that at all. But like I said, now if it comes out that he did it, then hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Put the man under the jail. But until then, man, I don't know about cutting the man. And I know, unfortunately, he's probably gonna be a victim of getting cut just because of the allegations. They don't want that. The Falcons don't want that on their team. Even the allegations is enough to get you cut. So it's unfortunate.
Okay, Bobby, let's end with you on this conversation. You just heard about the Mingo news. What's going through your head about this subject?
Yeah, I mean, what I saw, which I think is good from the Falcons part, is they came out with a statement saying that they're going to do their own investigation before they come out with an official statement, which I just think is a good idea for them to really get into the investigation before leaning one way or the other. I'm not going to comment too much on it. It's an unfortunate situation, and I hope everything turns out with the best justice possible.
Travis, I want to ask you this real quickly. Looking at social media and how news hits like that and public opinion and all that good stuff, do you think when athletes get in trouble like this, social media is hurting them?
Oh, it's definitely hurting them, man, because everything you do is in a spotlight now. You're put to such a high esteemed. Like once you get in trouble with something, or if you do something great, you're in social media. If you do something bad, you're in social media. Like the spotlight is on you directly. So any little thing you do, it's on you. Especially if you're a professional entertainer, athlete, singer, whatever. Like anything you do, it's a double-edged sword. It can be a good thing. It can also be a bad thing. But if it's bad, it's worse. That's what it is.
Absolutely. And I know we don't have all the details and this has to play out, but I do think that he's going to get cut because I look at him as, first of all, I thought he was dominant. I thought he was dominant when he was at LSU, but in the league, he was pretty disappointing. And him being the backup-like player, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, I think if there's any truth to it or if it drags out, they're just going to cut him and move along. But we'll see. You guys are right. The process has to play out. Let's talk about Isaiah Oliver. Doesn't seem like he's loved in Atlanta. Yeah, struggled. Do you see things turning around for him? Let's start with you, Bobby.
Yeah. So with Isaiah Oliver, I mean, I remember when he was drafted in the second round, everyone was making a big deal about how it was a huge steal. They're getting a cornerback one so early on. And I mean, yeah, he's been disappointing, and I can see how, especially as a fan base, you'd be disappointed. One thing that I'd see slightly optimistically is that when you look at his college statistics, he was not much of an interception guy in college either. So hopefully they're able to use him in the slot, because I know he moved to a slot corner. Hopefully they can just use him in a way where he can provide more than just interceptions and force fumbles to the defense. But overall, I think pretty disappointing, and he really hasn't developed how people expected him to.
Okay. Nate, do you see anything changing with Oliver with Pease coming along?
Oh, absolutely. just to continue what Bobby was mentioning, I mean, he comes in with the perfect stature, 6 foot, 200 plus pounds, 33-inch arms. I mean, you bring the right coaching staff that actually just digs into the potential that can be. He could be. All it takes is just a different coaching staff to actually bring that potential out. And we already seen it last year when they converted him to a nickelback, and you've seen the production go up. I mean, he didn't stand out in interceptions, all this and that, but he actually you've seen his progress actually show a lot better than playing outside. Then with the potential of just having the versatility of moving to free safety, you might see a different type of Ozzie Oliver. I mean, you never know.
Okay. What's your thoughts on this, Ron?
I think we got a better defensive coach that will help him, that will explain the game to him, so he can do what he needs to do on the field.
Okay. Cool. Travis, you got to break down this.
Well, I think that like I said, Ozzie Oliver, man, he's misunderstood. Like I said, I like him as a cornerback overall. And I know it's not the popular opinion. Most people want him out of Atlanta, but I think it's a consensus of most of us on this panel. Usually we really like him. And I think when he was being coached up last year, he was being coached up wrong, I believe. They didn't help him develop his technique right. And once he moved to nickel, like I'm backing off of y'all because y'all said everything pretty much. But once he was moved to nickel, he really developed, and his pass coverage got a whole lot better. So now they're talking about, moving him to safety and trying him at safety. So, like you say, we got to see what goes on there. But I think he'd be good at safety too. But nickel seems to be his spot. So we'll see where it goes from there. But I think with the better coaching staff with Arthur Smith and Dean Pease, I think he'll actually be coached up and be a better player, develop his technique more.
One thing I will point out, and I'm glad you guys said this, and it looked like, Nate, you wanted to say something, but let me say this first. It looks like, I think, the last coaching staff, and I don't like to blame the coaches for everything. I like to hold players accountable, but it seemed like they just put too much stock in Oliver. Like they were expecting him to be on a higher pedestal than what he was. I thought that they put him in the wrong position. I thought that he if you look at him, I don't think he's going to be a bad corner under Pease. I just think that the expectations Pease is going to be, okay, they bring him along a little bit slow. I thought they just threw him in the fire with Dan Quinn and them, and I think it wasn't fair, and he was a little bit overwhelmed by that. I don't think he was ready for all that, but
I totally agree. And I mean, you pretty much was about to say the same thing. I mean, you just look at his stature and how, yes, he was a second round draft pick. So in hindsight, a second round draft pick is typically an extra first round draft pick.
Absolutely.
And with him coming to the fold, we needed a corner. So he already has the pedigree. His dad played in NFL. So he already has that understanding of being a quote unquote corner. So you look at everything that he brings to the table, you want to throw him in the fire and let him get burnt. But at the same time, it's just, you're going to have to blame the coaching.
Yeah, you got to coach that man up.
It always turns into his confidence level. If you're basically getting burnt week in and week out, and you're not making the defense simple for a player, quote unquote, his confidence level is going to either rise or drop. I mean, it all works hand in hand.
Okay. Great breakdown. Look, we are sponsored by Your Future Media. For all media purposes, visit Your Future Media. Also presented by the Birds of Prey ATL Facebook group. Go join the Facebook group today. Talk Falcons. Express your opinions every day. Let's move to our next question. Let's talk running backs. Mike Davis. Pretty much he's going to be the featured back, right? I want to know who else is going to be in this mix. Who should we expect to get some touches? We know Arthur Smith, he's coming in there. He was successful with Tennessee and everything they did with their running game. We're assuming it's not just going to be all on Davis. Bobby, let's start with you on this one. Which running back do you think outside of Mike Davis will make an impact for this Falcons team?
Well, obviously there's Cordell Patterson, but I want to talk about Quadri Allison. I
Okay.
was watching some of his college highlight tape the other day. I mean, he had 2 seasons. He's a young guy, but he has 2 seasons in college where he rushed for over 1,000 yards. It seemed that he's really agile and quick in the backfield, finding the holes easily, which I think would be really good for when Mike Davis needs a break. Being able to have a guy he's 6'1", so slightly above the average of your normal running back, and just being able to have a 3-down back to give Mike Davis a break could be really helpful. Patterson is a great athlete, but he's not a pure runner. He's not a pure running back. So I think having a speedy, bigger back who's good in the backfield would be really good for the Falcons.
Travis, what's your take on this?
Exactly. Like I said, I'm glad he pointed out Quadri Olsen because, like I say, I piggybacking off him. It's exactly what I was going to say. I'm hearing that Quadri Olsen is actually challenging for the starting position.
Wow.
So this is something new that I'm hearing is coming out, and they say he's looking really good in camp. And between him and Mike Davis, and then of course you got the veteran, the other veteran Cordell Patterson, that's listed at running back too. Not to mention he's a Swiss Army knife. He can do it all, like receiver, running back, even throw. He can do it all. Play receiver,
Travis,
kickoff returner. So,
Travis, do you see them using him as a kick returner and receiver as well too, even though he's listed at RB?
Absolutely. Okay. Cordell Patterson. I see them having him on kickoff return. Now, punt return, that's another story. I don't know if they might use like Zacchaeus or one of the rookies we drafted, but I think he'll be on kickoff return too. Absolutely. But I do think that, like I say, Quadri Olsen and Mike Davis, that's a nice little setup. And then with Cordell Patterson backing them up, our running game should be strong. It all depends on the offensive line play.
Okay. Nate, what's your thoughts?
I totally agree. I honestly believe that Mike Davis somewhat going to have something to prove. I mean, he's been a quote unquote backup, and I mean, it's like I'm getting that feel of Michael Turner. Not saying that he's going to bring production, but I mean, it's just he's been a backup all his life. He's been trying to prove himself on San Francisco, Seattle. You see the similarities, and it's like he just wants to get his chance. He just wants that opportunity. But I mean, you bring in Quadri Olsen, that's at the same time been sitting back cooking. It's like Dan Quinn basically just put him in the back burner for some odd reason. I have no idea. But there's one player that you talk about Cordell Patterson. I just honestly believe that Cordell will primarily be a kick returner. You might see him spot duty in the backfield time to time, but I just specifically see him being just a special teams kick returner. One player that everybody needs to watch out for is Javion Hawkins. He brings a different element, somewhat that, not saying Mike Davis got, because he can catch, and Quadri, he can catch, but Hawkins brings a different element. And I see him being that board gun type, just a nice change of pace.
That's if he makes the team. That's if he makes the team. I just got to throw it out there.
It's a big first step. It's a big first step.
On it, man, if I feel he don't make the team. I honestly believe he will make the team.
Before we go to Ron, Nate, I got another question for you. You talked about you thought Patterson, they're not going to use him at running back. What about speed sweeps at all? Do you see any of that being worked in?
Yeah, that's why I say I'm not going to see him like getting somewhere like what Chicago Bears is doing, because we do have
it didn't work.
Mike Davis, Quadri Olsen. We pretty much crowded in the backfield, even though there are a bunch of unnames. But just I'm not going to expect Cordell just to get like 300-400 plus carries. Now on switch, just say trick plays. If they, you throw in like the Wildcat, say if you want to do that, that's perfectly him. He's going to be that particular Swiss Army knife. He's going to be a different tool for us.
And yeah, like I was saying, I'm just going to piggyback off of Nate that Cordell Patterson is going to be able to do any multitude of things. So with anything you need him to do, he can definitely do. So we're gonna be very versatile in the backfield.
Oh yeah,
Very.
we got depth. We got depth galore. Even though there are so many unnames, because I mean, it's just basically like what's that movie Replacements? A bunch of no names.
That's exactly what we are this year. The replacement. That's exactly what we are.
A bunch of people that need to make a name for themselves.
Exactly.
And I can't wait.
Great point. Great point. Ron, give me your breakdown. Which running back should we look forward to outside of Mike Davis?
Y'all hit it on the nail, Cordell.
Okay.
He got something to prove this year. And he been quiet last year, but he going to come out smoking. So,
do you see a lot of speed sweeps in his game, Ron? How do you feel they'll use him at the running back position? Like, what do you think those type of plays will be drawn up?
Plays, any kind of play in the running game. I think that we use him big this year.
Okay.
And don't forget about halfback sweeps and screens. I mean, that's going to bring a different element.
Okay, absolutely, absolutely. Look, my thoughts are on Patterson. Is this? It's interesting watching his past highlights, and maybe he's a little bit past his prime with the kick returns. But I would love to see him in the kick return game. I would love to see him on those speed sweeps, those wide receiver reverses. So I do think he's going to get some carries. Listen, at running back, even some screen plays. I think that's definitely going to help out. So I think that the Falcons are going to find different ways to utilize him, and I hope Hawkins does make the team. I hope he does. I think he.
I hope he does. But I'm just saying that's why I threw that out there a while ago. I hope he does, but I mean the running back class is it's crowded, man, in the backfield right now. That's why I say somebody's gonna be the odd man out.
Okay. Before we go to the next question, let's read some of these comments. They're talking about Quadre. And back to it, they brought him up. They think that he wasn't used enough under Dan Quinn. And why do you guys think that? Why do you think they didn't use him on that offense? Dirk Cutter, why didn't Dirk Cutter use him?
Yeah,
I don't think they know what they had. I think they drafted the kid. I don't even know why they drafted him if they wasn't even going to use him. They drafted him and had him. They had him play 2 years ago in the red zone, like in the red zone, like a couple plays, and that was it. They ain't seen him since. Preseason,
I think
that's it.
I truly believe they just put too much emphasis on Todd Gurley. They just ever since they signed Todd Gurley, which in my opinion, it basically took away from Brian Hill and what Quadre could have been last year. It was they wanted a big name player. Last year basically gave me the same thought of when we signed Steven Jackson back in the day. Like he was the missing link or something. Like, come on, man. But when he showed up, he was missing in action. He was a missing link because he didn't really do nothing. He really didn't. So,
and let me just say this. I want to piggyback off. I don't want to say too much because I know other guys got to talk. But I just want to say, man, when they got this kid, man, like I say, like you said, it was concentrating on Gurley. And how do you not know what you don't have? That's why I say that coaching staff was incompetent. That's why they got fired and moved on to somewhere else, because you got players sitting on the bench that can actually play that you're not even utilizing. So the coaching staff, I blame the coaching staff, man. They was incompetent.
Ron, you got any comments on this?
I agree with the comment down there. I agree with the comment down there too.
Daniel Gonzalez, he says, I don't see us carrying 4 running backs on the 53-man roster. Thank you for the comment, Daniel. Are we all in agreement of that?
Yeah.
I agree, man. That's why I say it's heavy at running back. Somebody's gonna be the odd man out.
Me, I just look at it as, even though Quadre is listed as a running back, I really just see him being primarily a kick returner /
Cordell Patterson.
Or Cordell Patterson, my bad.
Yeah.
Cordell Patterson. I just see him as a Swiss Army knife. Now, at times, even though he is listed as a running back, you're still going to have at least 3 legitimate full-time running backs. And I just see Mike Davis, Quadre, and Javion Hawkins being those primary running backs. And that's not even
unless they move Cordell Patterson to wide receiver just to make a slide. Then that way you can keep Mike Davis, Quadre Olsen, and Hawkins.
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's move along to Foye Oluokun. Personally, it's one of my favorite players on the Falcons. Great story out of Yale. People seem to overlook the times. There's videos made about him. People don't talk about him enough, in my opinion. But how do you feel about Foye Oluokun's development, and what should we expect from him next season with the upgrade in defensive coordinator? Let's start with you, Ron.
I think he would be up there with some of the best of them. At least top 5, top 10 linebacker. He deserves it. Every year he been proving himself. He do tackle, he do whatever to get the job done.
Okay. How do you feel about it, Bobby?
Yeah, I think he's going to be a Pro Bowler. Like, in my opinion, it seems pretty evident to me. I mean, he's a fast, smart linebacker. From the games I've watched, he's good in coverage too. I mean, he's fast enough to keep up with the slant routes. He's smart enough to be in zone coverage. I think his tackles was way up last year. So I think it's just going to keep rising, and his stock is just going crazy.
Okay, good stuff. Travis, your thoughts on Foye Oluokun coming into the season?
Man, let me say, y'all don't hate me. I'm just saying, don't hate me. I'm just saying, Foye is a monster, man, and he's slowly becoming the number 1 linebacker over Dion. I'm saying it. I know y'all might hate me.
Get out of my head.
I'm just saying,
man.
like, he's coming. He's going up. He's going up.
Get
Just
out
pay
of my
attention
head.
to him. Watch him.
Get out of my
I'm saying. I say he's slowly going up. He's dare I say that he's becoming better than Dion on the low? He's coming up.
Why do you say that? What games did you see last year that show evidence of that?
The reason I say that because he don't get pushed around a lot. He's not getting pushed off the ball. I see Deion Jones getting pushed back a lot, getting pushed around, and that shouldn't be happening to him as that type of caliber linebacker. You know what I'm saying? But like Foye is like he's on another level right now, man. He's becoming a monster, and I think he'll be a Pro Bowl linebacker this year. I really do.
Cool. How do you feel about it, Nate?
Confidence. That's one thing that Foye got a lot of last year. If I'm not mistaken, Debo had a down year, so we needed somebody to take that initial step forward, and a la Foye took that. He took that opportunity and he ran with it. Led the team in tackles. I mean, he has the speed because he was an ex-safety in college, so it's not that he can't, rise to the occasion.
Multiple positions.
To cover and all this and that, but downhill linebacker, yes, he's undersized, a la Debo. But if we have 2 capable linebackers to pretty much do the exact same thing, it's just Foye seized his opportunity last year, and I don't see nowhere but up with him. Yes, I'm not afraid to agree with Travis saying that Debo, you better watch out, player. You better watch out.
Kevin KT Colbert says in this new defense we are using 2 or 3 linebackers at one time. Nate,
Totally
this is okay. Does everybody agree on that?
Oh yeah, because we're going to be we're going to be in 4-3 and sometimes at 3-4. I mean, we're
going to be running. We're going to be running both.
Even though you got Debo and they got Foye listed as an inside linebacker, he can play a little bit of outside. So he has the versatility to play multiple positions.
Okay. Let's move right along into Matt Ryan. Will he master Arthur Smith's offense? Always seems like the hot topic, right? Talk about Matt Ryan. Really talk about any quarterback, right?
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
It's always the number one discussion. Let's start with you, Nate. Your thoughts. Will he master Arthur Smith's offense in year 1?
Absolutely. 13-year vet, being familiar with the same offense, similar to Kyle Shanahan. I do not see no breakage in this. The only thing that will falter Matt Ryan's progression is a running game. We need to have a running game in order for Matt Ryan to ever get back to MVP status.
Okay. Travis, do you agree with that take?
I agree. Like I said, I'll say Matt Ryan is a consummate professional. He takes time. He's a film rat. He stays in. He learns what he has to learn. He does everything the right way. And like I said, under Arthur Smith, even though he's the head coach, he will be calling the offensive plays too. So he's the offensive coordinator too. And I see this offense being similar to Kyle Shanahan when he was here. So that's what I see. And I think Matt Ryan will take this and run with it. If the offensive line holds up and keep him upright and our running game gets going, look out. Because Matt Ryan, we already seen what he can do when the offensive line is holding up and we got a good running game. That's going to take him to the next level.
Sorry, fellas, I read the comment.
It's all good. It's all good, sir. Ron, your thoughts on Matt Ryan and potentially mastering this offense?
It would take Matt Ryan 2 years, I think, to get on the same level with Arthur Smith. That's what I think.
Why do you think it'll be 2 years? I know, is it because he usually has more success in the second year?
Yes, because every OC we had took him 2 years to get on the same page.
Okay. Bobby, your take on Matt Ryan mastering this offense in year one?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be disrespectful to Ryan Tannehill, but if Ryan Tannehill can figure out the offense, I'm very confident that Matt Ryan can figure out the offense. I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
I'm a Patriots fan, so I saw Ryan Tannehill when he was on the Dolphins, and I mean, the fact that the Titans are a legit contender, it's amazing. And I think, like everyone's saying, there has to be a run game because Arthur Smith is a run-heavy coach. Definitely not just everybody run deep and huck the ball in the air and hope for the best. So if the run game is even half decent, I think the Falcons are going to have a much better offense. But I think Matt Ryan himself is 100% going to master the offense.
Okay. Hey, I agree with everything you saying, Bobby, except for the Patriot fan stuff. I did not know you were a Patriot fan.
Yeah, me either.
Hey, that hurt, man. Why you gotta cut us like that again, man? Why you gotta cut us like that one more time?
I don't discriminate. You all good with me, though.
Yeah, and
brought back memories.
Speaking of other Falcons that people are interested in talking about, Kyle Pitts drafted at number 4. We don't have to say he wanted a quarterback, Justin Fields or Trey Lance, or I even heard Mac Jones, but Kyle Pitts is here. Those are the facts. A spade's a spade. Do you think Kyle Pitts will be a top 3 tight end in his rookie season? Wow. Do you think so, Ron?
No. Maybe next year he will be like top 8 this year. I would say top 8.
Okay. What's your thoughts on it, Travis?
I actually think that he will be a top 3, if not number 3 tight end or number 2. And the reason I say that is because I think Matt Ryan is going to lean on him a lot more as his security blanket, now that Julio not being there. I think he's going to have somebody to lean on when he get in trouble, somebody that he gets comfortable with, like between him and Hayden Hurst. I think Pitts will get a lot more balls because of that, and that'll put him up there at top 3 status.
Okay. What's your take on this, Nate?
I wouldn't say this year. I think he will be a focal point at different times of the game. I think this offense is going to either primarily lean on running game and a 12 personnel formation. Watch out for both tight ends to do their due diligence. I think when we get in the red zone, you're going to see a highly, I say top 3 in touchdowns, usually his height and stuff like that. But as of yards, I give him about 1,000 to break to kind of contest with the rookie record, NFL record. I think he'll be the next tight end to get 1,000, but I don't see him being a top 3 tight end this year.
Hey guys, remember this. We're gonna come back to this, but moving on. We're gonna come back to this.
We will. Bobby, close this one out. Do you think Kyle Pitts will be a top 3 tight end next season?
Top 3, I don't think so. I mean, in almost any sport, having a rookie come in and being a top 3 at their position in a sport is absolutely insane. The fact that we're even talking about a rookie tight end getting 1,000 yards and being confident is just ridiculous, in my opinion. I agree with the take, but it's just absurd and just shows how dominant he will be. But just as a first year, as a rookie, just being top 3 it's a bit too much. But I agree with I've seen a couple of the comments saying top 8, 9, 10, definitely a good fantasy pick too. But
well, listen,
not top
let me
3.
say this. Let me say this too. The reason I say I think he'd be top 3 too, because the analysts, the professionals, deemed this man a unicorn and the next big thing and unstoppable and all this. So if they're deeming him this, I figure he can do all these things, and I want to see it. And now it's time for him to get out here and show us. So if he's living up to the hype, and we taking him at that number as a tight end, he needs to live up to the hype. I don't want no excuses, no exceptions. He better be the unicorn that they saying he is. He's essentially taking Julio Jones' spot. So I don't want to hear no excuses for
real.
I totally agree.
Armani Newsome, my guy, and you're definitely going to be on the show in the future. He can be top 5. I don't know about top 3. I agree, but I agree with all you guys are saying. To me, you trade Julio Jones, you draft a tight end at number 4, who basically you're going to use him as a receiver, right? This has to work. Yeah. This Falcons team could have went offensive line. They could have went defense, could have traded back, did whatever. Let's just not even bring up the whole quarterback situation. They could have beefed up on the D-line, traded back, cornerback. He has to deliver year 1. There is no excuse. And to me, I'll even go further and say this, and people think I'm crazy for saying it, but it is what it is. This Falcons team needs to be in the playoffs with the pick that they made. That was a serious pick. Year 1, this team needs to deliver. So I think Kyle Pitts, you know what? If he's top 3, wouldn't it be a surprise with all that expectation?
No, it wouldn't be no surprise.
It's not going to be a surprise to me. I think he's going to be top 3. I really do.
You know, I mean, I consider him being a rookie of the year candidate. Like I'm like who's dominant, but I mean, it's with the staple of or the stamp of a rookie. You got it's
who's
like
going to stop him
it's
in the NFC. Who's going to stop him?
I mean, the only person that can stop him is
Matt Ryan. That's about it. Because if he goes to him like he's supposed to, ain't no linebacker going to be able to stick on him. Hell, the safety's going to have a hard time with him. Like, I mean, good luck.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. That's what I say. He's going to be a red zone target. I mean, that's
and then you got Kevin Ridley, you got Hayden Hurst to deal with, you got Tajay Sharp to deal with, Russell Gage, you got my boy Frank Darby, the rookie. You got a lot of people you're going to have to deal with, not to mention the running game coming out the backfield. Good luck.
Okay. Darius Too Cool Sloan says Pitts is also a tight end, so we will get to see him used with Hurts utilize opposing defensive formations, so the defenses will not know what will come at them. Great point, Darius. I do think even Hurst, seeing that another tight end was drafted at number 4, I think he's going to use that to improve his game. So I think it's going to create matchup problems as well. You guys' thoughts on this comment?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, double tight end, that's going to be our nucleus. Like,
that's what Smith does. Double tight end set. That's what he's good at.
It's going to be pick your poison with a bunch of unknowns. Like, the offense is going to fuel this team. So we're going to have nobody can stop us unless ourselves. That's the only thing I can say.
Yeah,
that's it. Right. It's all going. I'm gonna tell you, it's all going to depend on everything. How y'all know everything will operate on the offensive line. If they hold up, we're unstoppable, man. It's just that simple.
Okay, let me throw this quick one in before we wrap up the show. Who has a better chance to win the Rookie of the Year, Trevor Lawrence or Kyle Pitts?
Ooh, I gotta go with Trevor. Just for the simple fact he's a quarterback and he holds 90% of the time. You got to give it to him.
I'm gonna go Trevor just because, like you say, he's gonna touch the ball more. It's gonna always be in his hands. He's gonna be able to do more things with it, and he's a quarterback. They're gonna always give it to the quarterback.
Yeah,
if it comes down to that.
And you can say he got the golden locks. You know,
sunshine. They gonna give it to him.
What do you think about that, Bobby? I don't want to get a word in. Do you think that Trevor Lawrence will has a better chance than Kyle Pitts of winning the Rookie of the Year?
Yeah, I do, but I think it's not because he's going to have a better season, but because they want Trevor Lawrence to be the next face of the NFL, and so giving him the Rookie of the Year is just going to be it's another notch on his belt when he, becomes the next what they're hoping Patrick Mahomes-esque character.
Right, if it comes down to him,
okay.
I was just saying if it comes down to him and Trevor Lawrence, we already know who's going to get it. I mean,
Hey, Ron, I ain't forget about you and the nice background. What you think, Trevor Lawrence or Kyle Pitts?
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence.
Because
Okay.
he's a quarterback. He will have the ball in his hand on 75% of the time. So yes, Trevor Lawrence.
more like 90% of the time.
Well, 95 or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Falcon fans, look, follow our Instagram page, the Flying High Podcast. We're dropping content every day from past Falcons to Falcons and news of what's going on, breaking news like the Mingo story. Unfortunately, follow us on Twitter, Instagram. You get that information. Join us every Saturday for the live show. This is the most transparent Falcon show out there. You guys did your thing. I'm jealous. I need to get a hat. I need to get myself a nice get some money together. But Bobby, appreciate you joining the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Ron, Nate,
Always,
y'all know what time it is. Travis,
always.
these guys very dedicated to talking Falcons. Also wanted to say we're presented by the Birds of Prey ATL group. Join today. Join the group today. Talk Falcons. Hit these guys up. Hit up their inboxes. They'll answer questions. Hit me up too. That's how real the show is. Everybody. Oh, wow. Bob, you got to see this one. I'm sorry. A little comedy. A little fun with
I like the Falcons.
Hey, I like Bobby. Like you say, I like Bobby, but yeah, that's for the papers. You gotta get that to him.
Bobby go slack.
He didn't cut you. It's all jokes, though, Bobby. It's all a joke.
No comment. No comment. I could go off, but I'm good.